And just when you guys think that it's all done and over with, they start doing changes to your accounts. Okay? They made this web page purposely in this format so that OBS has a hard time looking at it. Okay? Now, I'm going to explain what's going on here, and I'll read it. And, it's like, okay. So they're gonna change the way your desktop and tablet crap works. Okay. Um, as it was explained to me, they're changing the thumbnail size. They're making it bigger so that everything looks like some kind of goddamn Windows 10 garbage phone operating system bullshit. Okay. Um, your your videos in your playlist for queues won't save after you've closed your browser, but you can always save your videos to permanent watch later playlist. So now they're adding work to you for no bloody reason whatsoever, goddamn ever. Like, I put stuff like these asshats are just out of control for stupidity, and they're going to destroy this YouTube. Okay, I think they're intent on it. I think what the goal here really is that they do so much to us that creates so much pain that we all run to the FTC and cry, right? Well, I think what they're going to get in response is a huge swath of people move to things like Dlive and bitchute, which those platforms won't be able to handle stuff, and they don't have some of the services. Um, I've been on BitChute, by the way, for 10 months. Um, I'm getting some decent traffic over there. I mean, it's comparable to bloody YouTube. How about that, eh? A platform like YouTube with the millions and millions of people that it has, and a tiny little place like BitChute, and I actually have slightly bigger traffic on BitChute. How is that bloody possible? There's only a select few videos that have more traffic on YouTube, and it's usually this terrible news. Like, I made a statement, a while back about people being negative. It's terrible, you can't be negative all the time. It's hard to do that, I guess, when you're faced with this kind of crap constantly. Okay? Like, and here comes some more changes that they're experimenting. Like, this is why I was telling you guys that they put me on this new system a month and a half ahead of time, which it's bloody not fair. Okay, I'm already on it. I can tell you all that this is going to, you know, this machine language thing. Let me explain this. If I put up this embedded thing that you see in here and it says not for kids, and they just decide that it's for kids, I could get a $42,000 fine. I'm telling you, I can't afford that liability. Nobody here on YouTube can, and I'm not going to be here in January. I'm just letting everyone know ahead of time. That's it for me on YouTube. Okay. Um, and you ask yourself, okay, well, you're only 300 subs, right? Well, I hate to bust everyone's balls, but the people that are subscribed to me are worth 1.3 million subscribers. Okay? And if I can't connect to them properly and get them a little bit of news, a little bit of fun, show them off some of this 3D special effects and animations, and make my little... See, I had planned two different things. Yes, I was planning on doing something of a video game eventually once I got a new graphics card and whatnot. See, here's the kicker, eh? I'm making investments of my time and hardware to do things for people, and I don't get paid for this. Does that sound like something? Yeah, it's called slavery. This is not right. This whole platform is designed on slave labor. Okay? It's not just them exploiting kids, it's exploiting us. And it's sickening. And I'm getting tired of having to deal with them kicking us further down the curb where we're never going to grow. We're never going to get these channels going up, right? Like I could go and say, listen, everybody who subscribed to me, let's see, I want 3 of your subscribers tomorrow to come to me and subscribe. I'd have 1,000 rate tomorrow. I don't do that. Okay. In fact, I've gone out of my way to stay a little bit smaller because of the fact that this monetization adds you a whole layer of BS, right? I'm not a rich person. At the same point, I'm not worried about starving to death or having no place to live. Although I have had that issue, okay, this year. Okay, you okay? Let's talk about me for a minute here. I'll give you some little bits of what I've gone through. Okay, let's see here. Had a roommate cost me $1,700. 2 months rent skipped out. He infested his room with bed bugs. It was so, and I was spraying things and taking care of things, and I'm still wondering where the one or two of these little buggers was coming from. And when we finally went into his room with the landlord's permission to clean it out, his entire bed was nothing but a crust of dead bugs. Okay, and they're still letting this moron in the building. Okay, and wonders why I would say something like, uh, to this other guy. I don't know. I'm not the guy that has bedbug boy, hanging out in his apartment. You know, I don't want you on the floor, man. I don't want you anywhere near me. My, blah 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 blah. Anyhow, long story short, okay, on top of that, I need a new graphics card. You had the Bitcoin people running the price up. And when it finally come down, Trump's going to throw some tariffs on it so that it goes back up again. I mean, you can't win for losing, right? Then I got to a point in using the technology where I could do things, and then they kept changing the versions. They made a new version. The user interface changed. I got to learn a tutorial on rigging, right? That's how you put bones inside of your character meshes to make things move. I flipped out on a few. I went to like 6 or 7 of these places, and finally on the last guy, I kind of flipped out on him, and then realized, I apologized to him, and I go over to these Blender people, and they make a tutorial, and then they paywall half the damn tutorial. And okay, so during this time, also I'm ill. I had to get teeth removed, and then they didn't clean the equipment, so now I got to go for a blood test for 3 types of hepatitis and possibly even HIV. I mean, come on, like, wow, eh? You wonder what the is going on in this universe, eh? YouTube, you need to separate. Okay, here's how this could be done, and it should have been done properly. All children under the age of 13 are now going to be separated to a new service. That service would be run the way that the FTC wants. Okay? From 14 to 18, you need written permission from your parents to be anywhere on YouTube. Okay? And you will be have all the restrictions that YouTube said about kids channels. Okay? In other words, you're going to be, you're not going to be PewDiePie. All right? You can post stuff up there for you and your close friends and post it so they see it. That's it. There'll be no comments. There'll be no, it'll be feature poor. Okay? As for the rest of us, we carry then on. All right? I do my video games, I was asked a while back too, and it's something about kids and stuff. And I said, listen, I don't mind children watching my content. However, there's the odd time where I get a little passionate about subjects and I might swear, which isn't right for young children to hear. Okay? The problem is that, and this is why I don't do that many live streams. You guys that do live streams are about to incur huge risks. Okay? And the big problem is that by trying to make yourself more non-kid friendly, you may run afoul of certain rules where they all year have been implementing to get rid of people. I mean, it's so ambiguous or whatever what that word is that we don't know what to do. No one does. I mean, I talked to a lawyer and he's kind of scratching his head too. He says unless we know exactly what the machine language program is going to do, we can't really. I wouldn't be able to advise you on what you can do. He says the best thing you can do is take everything private on January 1st and not show anybody anything until they know somebody is transparent enough to let us know what the criteria is. Otherwise, he said by all rights you could be hit by several $42,000 fines. And he says, just because you're Canadian doesn't mean they can't fine you. It just means that, you know, you wouldn't be able to travel to the U.S. or use any U.S. services until you pay your fines and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. United States going full stupid. Right on. This is just another. So here they've been based on your input. And like I said, they've been using me as a freaking guinea pig for months here, and I've lost 10,000 watch hours, or 10,000 views, and over 4,000 hours of watch time because of these asshats. Right? I'm sick of it. Okay, I've done a lot of work to grow this thing without having a large amount of people. I've set it up so that I have subscribers that are much larger than me, okay, and that gives me a reach, okay. When I do my news, and you want to talk about diversity, people. I have some CEOs of some big companies, or not CEOs, but executives of big companies on here too that are listening to all this and they're shaking their head, you know. I don't know what to say here. Like, I understand, man. No one wants to see kids exploited or they don't want to see kids harmed. At the same point, you got to make it clear what your criteria is on your end. Because if I say I'm not for kids, okay? If I make a bar or a business and I put on the sign there, you have to be older than 18, okay? Someone else doesn't get to come by and say, well, you said that, but it's not true. What are you talking about? I don't let people that are 18 into here. Okay, that's YouTube's problem. Okay, if YouTube allows some young person to see my content, that's YouTube's problem. I can't control that. So I would argue that if the FTC were to try to give me a fine of $42,000, and this would be a legal challenge, and this is what a lawyer told me, you might have a case where, how are they saying that your content is kid friendly when you're saying it's not, and you're not soliciting for young children to watch your stuff? If YouTube is sending me to kids stuff, that's YouTube's problem. I'm telling YouTube I don't want to be a kids channel then, because I don't want to lose all these features. Okay? If you want me to make kids content, okay, you need to remove some liability for me. And if I need to go through, say, some extra hoops to make sure that there's no exploitation going on or something, fine. One of the reasons a lot of people do the gaming thing is because a lot of people watch gaming, okay? And it's across the board. I mean, I play some video games with people that are as young as they have their young kids in the video game, and they have grandpa in it. One guy was 65 years old. I mean, how do you deal with that? Okay? There's no and I used to have a verification thing, and now it's gone too. That's another one that is irritating me. Okay? I've been on YouTube since 2009, like as an account, right? And this is one of the reasons why I for years I never did anything anyway, because I seen where this was all going eventually. It always happens, okay? Think of the children, right? what 7.5 billion people on this earth, 5 people did something wrong, and then everyone else on the planet has to get slapped for it because YouTube can't do the right thing. Uh, well, more changes coming, folks. So get ready. This just it's just gonna keep going until they blow themselves up. I swear. And you can see this lady in where is it here? I'll even post a link to it. They're starting to show the SJW in her. She's got little streaks of blue in her hair. I mean, what? If I were a business owner and you start coloring your hair like that, I'd throw you right out. You're fired. Okay? You do not represent my business by looking like a weirdo. You want to go outside and color your hair and do all kinds of things, fine, but you don't show up to work looking like a freak. That's been the way it is forever, okay? And you know what? I mean, I know punkers and everything else. They don't get jobs like, at YouTube, okay? They shouldn't be. Anyway. I don't know what to do here. This just gets more and more stupid every day. Anyway, I'll post the link here so you can see the official blog. I mean, YouTube doesn't even know how to make a web page that OBS can look at. That's even more funny, I think they, after the little leak of some new rules that I grabbed a hold of and then played link tag for half a day until they stopped doing it, they realized that they do something like this to mess with people instead. I mean, make a proper web page, morons. Jesus. and just swearing, okay, won't necessarily make things better, okay, guys. That's another issue that this lawyer said. He said, in fact, that could run you afoul and get you banned for, other terms of service that YouTube has. So, like, this is just they spend a year neutering your edginess so that they can throw this at you, and it's just. And Steven Crowder's response, hey, this is just maybe to get rid of this channel, kind of thing. Thanks, Steve. You're really helping us all out, eh? Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah. Where's PewDiePie on this, eh? Where are these big guys? Because you know what? You know what the truth is? All these big channels are going to survive this, okay? And this is where I could sit back and just close up all the videos to private and not publish, and I'll still have my 1.3 million people that are subscribed to me, and I would have to then run every single video by a lawyer to make sure that it's not going to run afoul of anything. Okay? I'll survive. I could do it, right? The rest of you is what concerns me, because I sat there and watched, a guy who's really, his channel is about 98% kid friendly. Okay? Where it goes not kid friendly is when he's doing art auctions. You can't solicit to minors. Okay? That's and then another guy, he does this, they get a bunch of artists together and then they draw. Okay? And he does Bible things and everything else. I mean, there's going to be issues across the board for everybody, and the problem here is you have to now go back to every single video that you've ever done and run that by a lawyer. I told you guys this is, I'm just gonna, I don't know. I don't know yet. Like, I'm gonna wait. It seems like YouTube has got the message on experimenting on me. I don't know what else to say. Like, I just went around and sat at some people's channels last night, that I haven't talked to in a while, and some people I haven't really talked to in a while, and all that other stuff, and I just didn't want to talk about it, so I didn't bring it up or anything. We were talking about other things, and things like movies and television and silly things that are going on in this world, and it's just getting worse. But it's going to get worse until it gets better, everybody, and that's how things work, okay? I have a feeling that once this really starts to sink into the rest of you, how much effort and cost it will be, that almost all the channels that aren't monetized today are going to literally um, either disappear or um, they're going to be neutered so badly that they're not even worth watching. And what's this going to do? It's going to shove these video people to other platforms. And you say, well, if the platform's in the U.S., then they're going to have to. Yeah, but that's the kicker. Everything's going to end up migrating somewhere where these rules don't apply. Okay. Okay. You won't be coming to Canada. Canada's prime minister has spent his time in office so far making things stupid here in Canada, and we have no freedom of speech. Okay, and that's why I don't know. Crowder thinks, oh, I'm glad I left Canada, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, something, Crowder. You didn't even know who Don Cherry was. You didn't even know he was the coach of the Boston Bruins, for fuck's sake. I mean, that shows you how much of a Canadian that asshat is. My God, eh? Like, when you're a fake person, you get caught once in a while, and there's your fake moment about Crowder. Okay, all right, and don't tell me otherwise, everybody. He screwed himself right there, and see, this is why you know I'm saying to you that he's been slowly making a few mistakes on research. Before I went on air, I would have actually looked up Don Cherry if I didn't know who he was, and then I would know. So when I talk to the rest of you, I'd know things. Duh. you know? And the reason I'm doing a little few hits on these big guys is because they're the ones that can make the most influence on YouTube, and they're doing nothing about it. Right? Yeah. Remember that. Okay? There are some that will speak up, but, they've got the most to lose. Here's one of the things. All us little guys should start making some noise, okay, about this. Everyone should do a video about it, okay? And how do I show you a movie trailer if I need written permission from the company to be able to show the trailer here? They'll just say, no, go to our site. That's what they'll do. So now you start to lose that ability as well. You won't be. Do I have written permission to show this blog shot of YouTube? No. New rules coming in December, right? I won't be able to do this anymore. Okay, and that's a direct hit on people that are in Europe, right? That's the Article 11 and 13. Well, I'm not in bloody Europe. I don't have to abide by that kind of crap. Okay? I don't. So that's another one, right? Instead of YouTube walling off Europe, it's going to take the lazy bloody coding route, just like they're doing with this thumbnail shit and the changes to the playlist crap. And with the FTC, they're taking the lazy route so they can make the most money and sit back and screw the rest of us some more. While they make more and more money every bloody year. Okay? I should do a video on that about how much money Alphabet is making and Google and whatnot. Okay? It's sickening. Okay? That year over year, they've increased money and profits at YouTube, and yet they keep sticking it to us little guys, and even in some ways the big guys. Like, I mean, The big guy, yeah, PewDiePie ain't complaining, is he? You won't hear him go, "Oh, I need more money." That guy's a millionaire now. And what's he do? What value is this man to humanity? What value is Crowder to humanity? Okay, what have they done for humanity? Come on, you know. I've seen some guys talking about planting 20 million trees, right? $1 a tree. Yeah. Well, I can't afford that now because the FTC might give me $42,000 fine. I got to start saving. That's what I would put. I'm sorry. I would put up an image saying I donate to the tree thing, but I got to save up for the FTC fine that I'm gonna end up getting. Yeah, baby. That'll start the tree huggers on a rampage. Oh, baby. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna ignore all this and keep going right ahead. And if I end up with a $42,000 fine, I'm coming to the rest of you to help me out. How about that one? Eh? How about that one? How about we do it that way? How about the first person who gets a fine, we all chip 10 cents in and help them out? Because that's all. You know what? This is just a sick little grab by the American fucking government to rip us all off. That's what I think. There we go. This damn lighter now no longer works. See? Satan. It's Satan, I tell you. Anyway, I'll throw this one up there and I'll just put a link to it so you people know where to look at these stupid things that these retards are doing. And just to give you an idea, I knew about this 4 months ago was coming down the pipes. I didn't know how bad it would end up being. Um, and that's around the times they started experimenting with me and other people. And and they don't tell us. They just go ahead and do this shit to you. Okay? I've lost watch time. I've lost view counts that I actually had. Um, like through this, I've actually grown about 14 subscribers. Right? That's 5%. My channel's grown 5% just because of them screwing around. Keep it up. Maybe I'll get to 1K one day. Anyway, we'll put this up there.